"Are you lost, little girl?" he said, towering above her, his tone half amused, half annoyed. She smiled, clutching her small shoes in her hands, her voice trembling but brave. "No, sir. I'm just looking for a dance partner." The laughter that followed wasn't kind. What the crowd didn't know was that this little girl was about to remind a billionaire what humanity felt like. The ballroom glittered like a diamond dream, chandeliers dripping gold, champagne glasses chiming, laughter rich enough to echo. Every man in that room wore money like a second skin. Every woman wore poise like armor, and in the middle of that shimmering sea of privilege stood a little black girl, barefoot, clutching a worn-out teddy bear, eyes wide with wonder. Her name was Lila Monroe, 7 years old. Too young to understand what status meant, too innocent to know that she didn't belong here. Her mother was a server, weaving between the guests with a tray of flutes. Careful not to spill, Lila had begged her to come along, promising to just sit quietly in the corner, but when the band started playing, the rhythm danced through her bones like sunlight, and children, true children, never resist joy. She twirled once, quietly at first, then twice, and soon eyes turned. "Not all kind," a woman whispered. "Whose child is that?" Another hissed, "She'll ruin the decorum." And standing near the grand piano was William Ashford, the billionaire everyone came to impress. Tall, immaculate, cold as marble. Leela's little feet padded across the marble floor. She stopped in front of him, head tilted, smile bright. "Will you be my dance partner?" The world froze. Glasses stopped midair. Conversations halted. A few people chuckled. Others gasped, horrified. William blinked, unsure if he'd heard right. He said, one eyebrow raised, "Do you even know who I am?" Lila shook her head. "No, sir. But I know this song is too pretty to dance alone." It was such a pure answer, so disarming, that even his assistant, always stone-faced, bit back a smile, but across the room, a woman muttered, "How inappropriate." Another added, "She's clearly not from this world." William's eyes flickered toward them. Then he looked back down at the small girl before him. With her patched dress, her courage and her unshakable light, and something inside him, something buried for decades, stirred. Without another word, William placed his glass on the table and knelt. "My lady," he said softly. Extending his hand, Lila gasped, eyes shining. "You'll dance with me?" He nodded once. The crowd fell silent as the billionaire took the little girl's hand and led her to the center of the dance floor. The band hesitated. Then, sensing the moment, began to play again. Lila placed her feet on his polished shoes. Together, they began to move. At first, his movements were stiff, unsure. But Lila giggled, guiding him. "Just follow the music," she whispered, and he did. For the first time in years, William Ashford, the man who controlled empires, wasn't thinking about profits or deals. He was thinking about rhythm, about life, about a child's laughter echoing through a room full of statues. Around them, people began to clap, slowly, reluctantly, then louder. Because for one breathtaking moment, everyone in that cold, glittering hall remembered what it meant to feel alive. When the song ended, William bowed deeply. Lila curtsied with perfect grace. The applause faded quickly, replaced by whispers like knives. "He's humiliating himself. She's a staff child. This will make the headlines." Lila didn't understand, but William did. He saw the judgment in their eyes, the quiet prejudice wrapped in polite smiles. Then Lila's mother rushed forward, horrified. "Lila, oh my God, I'm so sorry, sir." "She didn't mean," William interrupted gently. "Don't apologize, ever. Your daughter just gave this room more class than all of us combined." The room went silent again. Later that night, after the guests left and the music died, William sat alone by the grand piano, lost in thought. He couldn't shake her words. "The song is too pretty to dance alone." It echoed through him like truth. He remembered being poor once. He remembered dancing barefoot with his own mother in their tiny apartment. Long before the suits, the yachts, the loneliness. He'd spent years building walls of glass and gold, and somehow, a child had walked straight through them with nothing but innocence. He found Lila's mother near the exit, folding linens with tired hands. "Your daughter," he said softly. "She loves music?" The woman smiled, embarrassed. "She loves everything, sir, but lessons are expensive." William reached into his pocket and handed her a folded check. When she opened it, her eyes widened. More zeros than she'd ever seen. "For her future," he said. "Let her dance wherever the world takes her." Tears spilled down her cheeks. "Sir, why?" He smiled faintly because she reminded me that even billionaires forget how to dance. Months passed. A video surfaced online. Little girl teaches billionaire to dance. It went viral overnight. People around the world smiled, cried, shared. They didn't see money. They saw humanity, and a small girl who once danced in a servant's dress now danced on grand stages. Her story funding scholarships for other children who couldn't afford lessons. Every time she stepped onto a new floor, she whispered before her first move, "For the man who remembered." Years later, at a global charity event, a young woman in a flowing gown stepped onto a stage. Her dance, breathtaking, powerful, pure. When she finished, the audience erupted. She bowed, smiling through tears, then walked off stage and froze. Standing there, older, silver-haired, holding a single white rose, was William Ashford. She ran to him. "You came," she whispered. He smiled. "I promised my favorite dance partner I'd never miss a show, and for a moment, amid the flash of cameras, the cheers of strangers, there was only them. The billionaire who'd been cold as stone, and the little girl who'd turned him human again. The world measures worth in money, but sometimes the richest moment of your life costs nothing at all. That night, one little girl proved that innocence is power, kindness is courage, and true wealth is measured in heartbeats, not dollars." Comment dance if you believe kindness can change anyone. Tell us where you're watching from. Every story unites us across borders. Subscribe for more cinematic stories that remind us humanity is still the most beautiful thing we can afford.